What if I told you the life you're living today is the result of the thoughts you had yesterday? Every action you take, every habit you form, every step toward success or failure begins in the mind. This is the life-changing truth James Allen revealed over 100 years ago, and today, it's more relevant than ever. James Allen, the British philosophical writer best known for his book As a Man Thinketh, emphasized a timeless truth. Our thoughts shape our reality. Though he lived over a century ago, his teachings remain deeply relevant today. Allen believed that we are the architects of our own lives. What we consistently think, we ultimately become. At the heart of his philosophy is the idea that the mind is like a garden. It can be cultivated with positive, purposeful thoughts, or left to grow wild with negativity and disorder. Just as a gardener tends to soil to grow flowers or fruit, we must tend to our thoughts if we want to cultivate a fulfilling life. Every thought we plant has the power to grow into an action, habit, and ultimately a destiny. In essence, Allen's message is that we do not attract what we want, we attract what we are. If our minds are filled with fear, doubt, and anger, we are likely to see a world that reflects those emotions. Conversely, if we nurture our minds with peace, confidence, and hope, we create a reality that mirrors those values. Life then becomes a reflection of our inner world. This philosophy calls for radical responsibility. It means we cannot blame circumstances, people, or fate for the quality of our lives. Allen challenges us to look inward to examine the beliefs and thoughts that shape our daily actions. In doing so, he empowers us to change. If we want a better life, we must start by thinking better thoughts. In a modern world filled with distractions, Allen's message remains a call to clarity and personal power. The truth is simple yet profound. Your thoughts are your reality. By mastering our minds, we begin to master our lives. Understanding that your thoughts are your reality is more than a motivational slogan. It is a principle for living with purpose and intention. James Allen's teachings suggest that every individual holds the key to transformation, not through external changes, but through an inner revolution of thought. When we examine our lives, our relationships, our career, our emotional states, we begin to see patterns. These patterns are not accidental. According to Allen, they are the natural consequences of our habitual thoughts. If we constantly think in terms of scarcity, we find ourselves stuck in lack. If we think thoughts of gratitude and abundance, we begin to attract opportunities and joy. This truth places tremendous power in our hands. It means that change is always within reach, no matter our circumstances. It doesn't require wealth, status, or luck. It simply requires a decision to take control of our mental world. In that sense, Allen's philosophy is deeply democratic. Everyone, regardless of background, has access to the mind. However, this path is not easy. It demands discipline and awareness. Negative thinking is often automatic. We must train ourselves to catch unproductive thoughts and replace them with empowering ones. It takes effort to uproot beliefs we've carried for years, but the reward is immense freedom, peace, and purpose. In today's fast-paced world, where external validation and noise dominate, James Allen reminds us that real change is quiet and internal. He encourages us to retreat from distraction and tune in to the thoughts we nurture every day. For it is there, in the stillness of our own minds, that our future is being built one thought at a time. Ultimately, Allen's work is not just about thinking positively, it's about thinking responsibly. It's about understanding that the quality of our thoughts is the foundation of the quality of our lives. His enduring message is this: you do not live in the world. Outside, you live in the world within. And when you change that inner world, everything else begins to transform. This profound idea that our inner world creates our outer world has inspired countless thinkers, leaders, and everyday individuals to take ownership of their destiny. James Allen's teachings are not merely philosophical musings. They are practical tools for self-improvement. They serve as a compass for anyone seeking to rise above limitation, adversity, and confusion. Allen also speaks to the power of vision and purpose. He believed that dreams are the seedlings of reality. When we hold a clear mental picture of who we wish to become and persist in that vision, we naturally align our thoughts, actions, and decisions with that goal. Slowly but surely, the gap between thought and reality closes. Yet Allen warns that success is not achieved overnight. Just as nature takes time to bring a seed into full bloom, our mental seeds require patience, persistence, and faith. Temporary setbacks should not be mistaken for failure. They are merely the refining process of a greater becoming. Through this lens, suffering itself is transformed from something to avoid to something that strengthens character and deepens wisdom. In a world where we are often told that circumstances control us, James Allen gives us a powerful counter-narrative. That we are the master of our thoughts, the molders of our character, and the shapers of our destiny. If we change our thoughts, we can change everything. James Allen's message is timeless and empowering. Your thoughts are your reality. The mind is not just a place where thoughts pass. Through it is the engine room of creation. What you allow to live there will shape your life, for better or worse. Therefore, guard your thoughts. Feed them with truth, hope, discipline, and love. In doing so, you will not only change your life, you will become the author of it. One of James Allen's most powerful insights is this: a man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. This idea reframes how we view success, failure, happiness, and sorrow not as accidents or gifts, but as natural outcomes of mental habits. If we truly absorb this, we realize that we are never helpless. No matter how difficult life may seem, we are never victims of fate unless we choose to be. We have within our grasp the power to transform any situation by first transforming ourselves. That transformation begins with a single, disciplined thought, a refusal to dwell in fear, a choice to believe in growth, a moment of gratitude. This is where the journey of self-mastery begins, not by trying to change the world, but by changing the lens through which we see it. As we do this, we begin to influence our environment more powerfully than we ever could through force or fear. Our inner peace radiates outward. Our quiet confidence becomes a light to others. James Allen's work reminds us that true strength comes from within. It does not shout. It does not boast. It is the silent, steady power of one who governs their own mind. And in doing so, they become the captain of their soul. In the end, your thoughts do not just reflect your reality, they create it. And as you think, so you become. When we begin to live with the awareness that our thoughts are constantly shaping our reality, we also become more mindful of the type of thoughts we entertain. We realize that complaining, criticizing, fearing, and doubting are not harmless mental habits. They are creative forces directing the course of our lives. James Allen's teachings challenge us to take mental discipline seriously, not as a spiritual exercise alone, but as the foundation for success, peace, and personal freedom. This awareness leads to a shift in how we approach challenges. Rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we begin to ask, "What thought patterns within me created or attracted this?" This isn't about blame, it's about responsibility. And in that responsibility, we discover empowerment. Suddenly, even painful circumstances can become opportunities for growth, correction, and deeper understanding. Allen also invites us to pay attention to the subtle interplay between thought and habit. A single negative thought may seem trivial, but repeated over days, months, and years, it solidifies into character. The same is true for positive, constructive thinking. This cumulative effect means that our future is not determined by one moment or one failure. It is determined by the dominant patterns of thought we choose to live by. Furthermore, this way of thinking isn't limited to individuals. Societies, cultures, and institutions are also built on collective thought. When fear, greed, or division dominate the minds of many, the world reflects those qualities. But when clarity, compassion, and wisdom take root in the thoughts of the collective, healing and progress follow. Thus, the teachings of James Allen have implications not only for personal transformation, but for social and even global change. In this way, Allen's message remains revolutionary. The true battlefield is within. The true victory is self-mastery. And the greatest contribution any of us can make to the world is to purify our thoughts, refine our character, and align ourselves with truth. From this, all else flows. James Allen's timeless message that your thoughts shape your reality continues to guide those who seek personal growth and inner peace. In a world filled with noise and distractions, his gentle but powerful reminder calls us back to what truly matters. The quiet, daily practice of mastering our minds. As we learn to think with intention, we begin to live with greater clarity, purpose, and power. So remember, if you want to change your life, change your thoughts. Because in the end, you become what you think about most. If you found value in this reflection on James Allen's philosophy, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on personal development, emotional intelligence, and the timeless wisdom that can transform your life one thought at a time. Stay mindful, stay empowered, and keep thinking wisely.